Let's be honest, I could have called this video what Alita did wrong, but Dr. Ido told me, let's see the bright side, so I call it eventually what Alita sequel will do better. The sequel will have to face fewer challenges than the first movie. The first movie had to break into the landscape. The character and the original story was largely unknown. It leads to the second challenge. It's a manga adaptation, which proved very hard to deliver properly. Since it's a manga, there are the large eyes that have scared out many people. The movie had to convince people to jump over this curiosity and give it a chance. The first movie has been directed very successfully by Robert Rodriguez, who is known for violence and gore. He did right, but parents who have seen Sin City or From Dusk Till Dawn have felt lukewarm, of course, about taking their kids to Alita. And also, people who don't like violence and gore may have thought, oh, it's Rodriguez, so I don't get there. But they will feel, if people tell them, no, it's okay, Alita is not that violent, you can go it, oh, they will go to the sequel. And yeah, Rodriguez did a wonderful job. From outside, it is hard to understand what the story is about. It is a sci-fi environment, but which take place in a sort of vintage oldie area with time travels, wars, family relationship and self-discovery. You have a cute girl who happens to be a sort of high-tech samurai. It is very hard to make an efficient trailer about all this, and a trailer that would tell you in 3 minutes what it is about, without spoiling, of course. The first movie also collided with a Marvel movie, which was very harmful. It was like step aside, you know. Now, with Fox belonging to Disney, the sequel will avoid this drawback. There is the big challenge also about the design. The designers had to start from almost nothing but the manga. The designers have created the world of Iron City. They have designed the characters, the 3D models, the bodies and so on. It has not to be done again. Even if they change the location for the sequel, like let's say if they take us to the Badlands, it will be by comparison to Iron City and they will not have to start from scratch. And maybe now the biggest challenge of all, the Fox-Disney merger. Let's be honest, the marketing team was not very efficient, because their priority was to secure a job which was not linked to Alita's success or failure. It's more like they were trying to survive on a sinking ship. So it makes a lot of challenges. At the end of the day, what do we have? The first movie, despite all these difficulties, despite all these challenges, did break even. It has acquired a loyal fan base, it has received many awards, and it is now a contender for the Oscars, and I hope a winner. So eventually it is clearly a success. These were the main challenges. The sequel will not have to take again. The road is open. So today, for a potential investor, an Alita sequel represents no risk at all. What will be improved in the sequel? First, it will talk to the right audience. Alita has been compared to Marvel movies, to superhero movies, to regular movies. It's not on the same level, it's not the same league. You talk to people with the trailers, the posters and the interviews. The mistake of the first movie has to step on Marvel's territory. It was a big mistake. The poster, let's be honest, was average. It looked like a very usual superhero movie, which Alita is not. That poster, I'm sure, has pushed away the demanding audiences who are not interested in this type of cinema. It has attracted a younger audience who can hardly relate to the characters, who can hardly understand the conflict between Ido and Alita. What they want, these younger people, they want badassery, they want a usual canvas with a happy end, and of course they were disappointed by Alita. They don't like an answered question. So they could hardly enjoy what makes Alita different from the other movies. The movie team could have used more broadly other versions of the poster, like this one that delivers a more punk rock message with mystery. When I see this poster, I want to know who is that girl. Or that poster which insists on the aesthetics of the movie. Since Alita no longer needs to be introduced, the PR team can make now a more targeted campaign. The sequel will talk to an older audience, who gives more importance to the quality of the choreographies, of the world building, to the father-daughter relationship. They can enjoy more the true qualities of Alita. Now we have to address a painful point. James Cameron was not as motivated to make Alita as he is to make Avatar. According to that quite old interview, according to James Cameron, Alita was just a great kick-ass action movie. His priority is the protection of environment. That's his conviction, it is what he believes in, and I respect that. From this interview, we understand better why Alita has been marketed as, first of all, a kick-ass action movie. But now, since Alita is a grown-up, the sequel can develop and will develop more mature reflections, more mature themes, like the just war. In the first movie, it looks simple. The Erm is the good, Zalem is the evil, but in the manga it's more complicated, and it can be addressed in the movie. There is also the crucial question of women at war. It is addressed in the manga by Figure 4. It is only evoked or touched in the first movie. I precise, at the beginning of the movie, it looks like, yeah, it's cool to be a warrior, it's cool to kick asses. But the movie goes on and Alita changes. What drives her into fight is not fun, but it is love. Otherwise, she wouldn't kill anybody. The sequel can question this point in depth, this question of women at war, which is interesting, and deliver a message more clever than just yeah, women are strong and they can do even better than men and blah 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 blah. The sequel can also address the question of war correspondence and manipulation of the information. It would be very interesting. And maybe the main question of the manga, the limits of cyborgization. I don't know the real word, the proper word, if it exists, but you know what I mean. Cyborgization. This point was a major criticism made to the movie by fans of the original manga. The manga clearly denounces the cyborgization of people, and as YouTuber The Last 300 has already said very clearly, very cleverly, it is the drama of Gali. She is a girl. She would like to have a woman's life, but she is trapped into that body, which is a war machine. In the first movie, it is not that clear. It seems it's cool to be a cyborg because you are stronger than the others. But if you read the prequel book with the story of Hugo's father, you know it's not exactly what Cameron and Rodriguez meant. So, this point of cyborgization, which is very interesting, should be addressed in the sequel, more deeply than in the first movie. There could be also in the sequel more poetry, like the scenes in the desert with the train, or characters like Radio Chaos and Bajak Den. In the first movie, the wake-up scene shows the production team is able and likes to craft very artistic scenes. The sequel will have a more motivated distribution team. If it is greenlit, it will be by people who are convinced it is interesting and it is profitable. So they will give the marketing team the necessary means for success. That team will have interest in doing good job if they want promotion, if they want good salaries. Their career will be, during that period, their career will be linked to Alita's success or failure. So they will be very motivated. Interviews will be driven on the field, maybe, I hope, of a philosophical reflection more than just it's great CGI or it's great ass-kicking. And therefore it will attract the normal audience of Alita. Remember, it's a manga. It's not like our comic books, it's made for adults first. So, let's conclude. The IP of Alita is owned by James Cameron. Okay, he is free to take her where he wants, to do what he wants with her, to deliver the messages he wants. But it sounds clear, if someone distributes it, it will be Disney, under the Fox flag. I was personally very concerned about it because of what they did to Star Wars, making it clearly a racist and sexist franchise. But The Last Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, clearly shows a change on that field. It's okay again to be a man, it's okay again to be white or to be the color you want. The color you are, actually. It's no longer the question. Moreover, Avengers Endgame, who also belongs to Disney, is not especially woke. It has some political correctness, in it, but it's not aggressive. It doesn't go too far into that field. So the risk for Alita to become woke doesn't seem to be that serious. So thank you very much for watching. Tell me in the comments what you think, and I wish you a happy new year.